Hi, today is July 20th, 2025. This is a quick overview on how the AWS Calendar Invite server works with regards to ingesting data, generating APIs, and then visualizing the data. Step one, the calendar client is the calendar invite marketing front end for the organizer. So an organizer defined by our universe is somebody that's using a personal or business calendar client. They inject data into the AWS Calendar Invite server by picking out a domain set up by you, the AWS administrator and or marketing agency. That particular domain and email address is a drop-off box for taking the personal or business calendar invite information, and it is disassembled. A UID is assigned and stored for the organizer, and any update or cancel in the organizer's client is processed and stored in the AWS Calendar Invite server. So that means any new update, cancel that are saved in the personal calendar client speaking to the AWS Calendar Invite server via the SES Box are updated here in the APIs. So breaking it down a little bit better for y'all is, again, AWS Calendar Invite server has an SES box. It's a drop-off box. The new inbound calendar invite is captured and in the SES box and disassembled. A UID is assigned for the new event and stored for the organizer. Any update or cancel to the same UID to the SES box results in a process for that UID being reprocessed and stored. So essentially we go through a update or cancellation and treat it for the UID as an update for the data set. So this process updates the new calendar invite information for the UID and inserts the new data into the database record. So what does this mean for you all? Well, that means that this API endpoint is regenerating data from the organizer's calendar invite sent to the SES box, and the single calendar invite endpoint is called and calendar invites are sent for the UID. So API 1 is send a calendar invite essentially from the organizer's data set, and the outbound calendar invite data is reassembled when API 1 is called and calendar invites are sent out. Updates or cancels for the calendar invite for a registered new UID event in the database will result in updated and cancel calendar invites being sent out to anyone that has said yes or maybe to the status of the customer response. Updates can happen prior to the end of the event. So we have a pipeline here, which we discussed, and that is we have an inbound pipeline here, and then we have this outbound pipeline here that's being used by API endpoint 1. So what happens when we embed these calendar invites into web pages and people put in their email address, they click the buttons to get the calendar invite and we track that data. It's the same way for outbound calendar invite data if it's reassembled for an API call to a batch list as well. So same API is being used. It matches a UID to an email address. In this case here, it's an email address for hundreds or thousands or tens of thousands of emails that can be used for transactional marketing emails. But the endpoint works the same, and an outbound calendar invite is reassembled for a UID and matched to endpoint 1 and called, and calendar invites are sent for any new, updated, or cancel commands from the calendar client itself. So this here is part of the workflow process. Thanks for stopping by.